You want me to move this? Is that what it is? I think we can put this down here. Alright. What are you playing with my overalls for? What are you playing with my overalls for? Huh? Meow. Meow. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. It's still twisted. Okay. All right. Here we go. Man, I need to clean my workspace. Meow. Meow. Should we turn on some music, baby boy? What do you think? Should we get some nice, relaxing music going? We can just hang out. There it is. There it is, Mr. Man. We found it. We found it. Now let's see if we can find... Oh. Da 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 da. Meow.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I only pay for what I need. What a great day. One note here. What a messed up.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Oh,
My wife
wow.
said, if you win, we'll fly to Asia. If I win, we'll fly to Paris. I bet you won't get toned.
We'll see. Okay, good. It's right in the middle. Oh, Talon, I have got stuff everywhere. Still have used sandpaper. You know, I'm gonna... Oh, man. How did I bend the tip? And I just broke it off. Shit. Well, might as well finish her up, right? So I'm just gonna talk to myself like I normally do. I wonder if my 400 grit would work for my knife. I'm 20. This one's probably 60 then. Yeah, 60 weight. So today, I'm going to be working on this piece I've been working on for a while. And I've been showing it around to people because I'm pretty proud of it, right? Like, it's a cool piece. And I came up with a name for it, which I really like. It's called the Hug. is what this piece is called. And the reason why, I don't know how well you guys can see, but of course this whole portion right here is all dead wood on the tree, right? Most people would consider this piece unusable because of how far the rot goes through. The reason why I call this the hug, if you guys can see, there's a lovely little line right here, a dark little line that goes all the way up and around, comes up here, you can see it loop down here and kind of squiggle around. This part's actually left as dead wood, but all of this right here was non-operational. And then you can see where the fresh wood grew in all the way around this dead piece. Now this is a very interesting cross section, and this is why it's called the hug, because you can see where the new wood has grown around, and at this point, this exact point in the tree is where the new wood merges together. So it's like the fingers of a hug. So that's why I call this one the hug. I've been really nervous to do anything with it. I didn't want to make it worse somehow. But I just got to do it, right? Like I can't hold back because I'm scared of ruining it. I need to let the piece speak. So I'm looking for my toothbrush, and I don't think I'm gonna find it here with all this mess. Anyway, I've been having a really interesting time lately, just in life in general. In a really strange spot. Nowhere close to where I was hoping that I would be at this point in life, and even with my progress in my near future. I just kind of feel worthless. I don't want to feel worthless. It's something I can't shake. I just feel like I'm selling myself short, and everyone who has some sort of trust or belief in me, I'm selling them short as well. And that, it's a hard place to be with that kind of insecurity. But the good thing about it is that I noticed it, and I'm trying to do something about it, right? I don't want to feel that way all the time. And I love myself, I really do. I love who I am. I think I'm a great person, but for some reason still inadequate. So we're gonna start with the penetrating feeder beeswax. So hopefully this will get down and it'll repair this dead wood. The reason why I tell you that lately I've been feeling that way is because I feel a lot like this dead wood here. It's beautiful, but it's damaged. Most people would say it's unusable. But for me, I think it's beautiful. The trials and tribulations that this piece of wood has gone through to make it here, right? And I was listening to, I can't remember his name, and I'm not exactly sure what title he holds, like an astrophysicist or something. It wasn't Neil deGrasse Tyson, it was someone else. But he said something that really resonated deeply with me. He said that for all of the value that we as the human race put on things that we consider important, that go into, say, our electronics or feed our daily lives, like gold or silver or nickel, platinum, right? We put such value in diamonds and things that glisten and shine. And the thing that's funny about that is that when you look at the totality of what we consider our universe or within our galaxy, those materials are extremely common. Diamonds and gold and silver, all of the things we put all of this weight in, they're actually everywhere. And wood, as we know it right now, only exists in one place, on this earth. And it's not permanent, right? If not treated and taken care of, the wood will eventually disintegrate. So in my opinion, even water or oxygen, the things that make our world livable in comparison to many other places in our galaxy or universe, water, oxygen, we know that those are abundant in the universe too. Water, I mean, there's entire asteroids that are made of it. There are moons that are made of it. And we're not sure what's beneath the ice, but we know that there's miles and miles of it on certain places. So it may not be liquid water, but it's still water in its form, right? And so all these other things that we find so important, in the grand scheme of things, it's just something that we as humans have created. It's another one of our constructs. And we use wood, one of the rarest materials in the universe, for the most mundane things. We use it to build our houses, right? Studs in the walls. We use it to write on paper, which you might consider that as valuable, but when you put something down on paper, it has the same fallibility as wood itself. It'll eventually rot and disintegrate without great care. And so it seems to me like the wood is being wasted in that situation, because it's not able to tell its story, which to me is a beautiful story. It requires such a deep amount of devotion to be able to grow as a tree on this planet. You face winds and rains, you face sweltering summers, freezing winters, and every one of those moments, even extended periods of time, are etched into the wood, right? The rings and the grains tells the life story of this wood. And if you just turn it into paper or use it for the mundane things like wood in a building, you're not letting it tell its story. It's like with people. Everyone's got an amazing story. And it's not the same as the next person. Shit, you can be brother and sister, live in the same house with the same parents, maybe even share the same bedroom. And yet, despite that, you and your sibling will have an absolutely different take on life. You'll have different experiences. And you, as a human being, with the level of consciousness that we have for whatever reason, you create your world. You will create the truth that you believe, your perspective will be absolutely different even from a sibling that lived right next to you. The way that your parents treat you, the friends that you choose, the other, students in your grade, teachers will be different. Even if you have the same teacher, say an older sibling had this teacher, even if that's the case, it's separated by time. That teacher's changed, experienced things. So the education that they're giving to a child, even just 1 year from a brother or sister or sibling, is going to be totally different. The curriculum that teacher, the way that they teach it is going to be different because they will have experienced new and interesting things in life that will alter and change their perception of reality, their universe. And so even in that simple situation, everything's different. Everything has changed. It's a brand new experience. And there might be some similarities, which in the universe is the way that things are, right? Like, history repeats itself. Well, it doesn't really repeat itself, but it carries the same melody, and it's very similar. Life in general is just similar but absolutely different for every single creature, human, every single existing particle, which I don't know if thinking like this is good, but it feels to me as though particles have to have some level of consciousness, right? Because according to, say, chemistry, by every interaction between elements, there's a different reaction that happens. And to me, in order for that to take place, right, like for two hydrogens to bond to an oxygen to make water, that those elements have to have some sort of awareness. Maybe not a full consciousness, but they have to know what to do, right? Because how else would it happen? We think that, it's just guesswork and that everything's random and we won the lottery by being humans on Earth and things like that. But I don't think that it's random. I don't think it can be. I think that everything has some level of awareness, of knowledge, of quote-unquote self. Hi, beautiful boy. Hi, beautiful boy. You want to come up here? Come sit with me, baby? Yeah? Come on. Come on. Like, if we think that it's just random, how would things come together? Like Talon here, my cat. How in the hell are random interactions from random chemicals and random elements? Oh, you like my little glasses holder? Every one of those interactions, it can't be just chance. It can't be happenstance. I mean, the mathematics behind it are astronomically impossible, and yet we believe that that's how it works, just random, just out of anything's control, that it would have happened that way irregardless. I think that there's too much order in the universe, and knowing that everything, the universe itself is seeking for the least amount of energy. It's searching for the lowest state, right? It wants to be calm. And yet, there are so many more examples of our universe being absolutely inhospitable. Just insanely unwelcoming to life. And yet somehow we have this perfect biome, and we've had many different iterations of creatures, and there's so many more extinct animals from our world than there are living animals, right? And humans are no exception by any means. We, as a race, as a species, we've gone through magnificent changes. Hey, baby boy, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful when walking on this mess. Daddy's got shit everywhere. I lost my train of thought on that one. But anyway, talking about this wood and the hug, I relate to it. I relate to the life of this wood. I relate to the pain that it went through and the healing that it's gone through. The amount of effort that this tree once put into just surviving is incredible. It is awe-inspiring. It's absolutely magnificent. And I think my life's hard because, I don't know, the internet's not working today, or my debit card declined, and now people are looking at me weird at the grocery store. But this piece of wood was on the verge of death and brought itself back. Not only that, but incorporated the dead part into the beauty of the wood. I argue that this is the most beautiful example of perseverance and of sacrifice, strength and growth, evolution. To me, this piece of wood just warms my heart. This little hug right here. And the wood didn't need anyone's approval. It didn't ask to heal. It also didn't ask to die and have this damage done to it. But yet, it happened. Whatever caused this dead wood, who knows? It could be disease, it could be bugs, it could be bad weather. Maybe this tree was struck by lightning. Who the fuck knows? But it happened however many years ago. I mean, if you were to count these rings, there's a ton of them. Dozens, tens, hundreds potentially. Years that this little tree spent devoted to encasing and surrounding this dead, quote-unquote, useless part and transforming it into the most beautiful piece of resilience I've ever experienced in my life. And as humans, we try to control and dictate what this piece of wood is used for, what it's going to be, how it's going to look, right? I could grind this thing down and make it into paper. I could take this piece and burn it for warmth. This piece of wood, as it originally was just a lump. It had no real character. It was just a cut slab of wood. And then I come along with a couple knives and I trim away pieces slow but sure. However, with me, I don't do it the way I think it should be. I listen to the wood. Like this spot right here. I wanted to go deeper into this almost root looking piece. I wanted to really cut down to kind of show the transition. But the wood just would not let me. It did not want that. It just wanted to show this lovely spot here. Same thing with this curve. I didn't design this. I just cut and let the wood dictate. It would not let me cut this. It would not let me cut this. I tried everything and it just wouldn't work. So I decided, why fight the wood? Why ever fight the wood? The wood is its own beauty. This wood is its own magnificence. And I just want to show it the way that it wants to be shown. All right. So we put a little bit of penetrating wax on there. It's a conditioner and a polisher. But now what I really want to do is I want to wax seal it. Oh, I love the smell of beeswax. So we're gonna get a little bit wild here for a second, because I gotta heat this wax up. I have it going on my little crock pot. Maybe I can show that to you. I have some going on my crock pot, but this is my coffee wax. I don't know if you guys can see the little coffee in there, but it's actually quite a bit darker than regular beeswax. And I don't want to darken this too much. I want to keep a more natural color. So I need to melt this just ever so slightly. Now I could go to the stove, and I've done that before, but I'm going to try something new. It's going to get a little bit loud. Woo! That's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. So how do I limit that? How do I limit that? Callan is very scared of the hair dryer. He likes the warmth, but he's scared of the noise. And it's probably partially my fault, because last time I gave him a shower, I tried to dry him off with this, and he was so terrified that it just didn't do anything. It just made him more scared, you know? Ooh, that's gonna be hot in my hand. There we go, now it's melting. Stove is a better idea. It's taking a while. Oh no! Shit! Shit! Shoot the balls. Do not want these wax pellets falling on the floor. And it's a pain in the ass to clean up. Now this is my wax rag. Kind of looks like a cum rag. It's all dried and gross. But yeah, this is what I've been using to apply the beeswax. Now it's starting to come out the edge. Alright, maybe that's enough for right now. Come over here, cum rag. Now the thing about using actual beeswax is that I already sealed it with the other. So now I really just need to apply and then kind of polish this out. I like having a wax finish on it because it makes it feel more real, right? Like beeswax on it, it just makes it feel more natural, and that's what I really like. Okay, let's see if we can get that to warm up more in my little crocky pot while I do some polishing. So yeah, the interesting thing about beeswax is that it doesn't really act like other sealants. Well, because it's wax, right? Like, it's meant to go in liquid, penetrate deep, but it doesn't like to because wood, formerly very wet, porous, right? When it's alive, it's flexible and it's got the xylem and phloem that are working really well. But once the wood itself is dead, I guess would be a good way to put it. Once the wood is dead, those xylem and phloem seal and dry. Everything kind of shrinks. Just ever so slightly though. It's not like the wood is going to shrink a ton, but if you've ever left wood outside for a long time, it will 100% crack, if not dried slowly and purposefully. I need to polish some of this in. I wish you guys could smell this. The beeswax with this wood is just magnificent. The scent is absolutely fantastic. I actually want to seal in all of this dead wood, all these cracks. I want to get as much wax down in there as possible, because once I get enough in there and I feel comfortable with it, I'm going to take that blow dryer to it again. I'm going to melt the wax inside each of the cracks and hope that it sinks down and does not continue to create like this where it feels in, because I want to see the dead wood. But we're gonna try it. Like I said, this is all experimental for me. I'm not like a professional woodworker. I just like wood. Like I said, I feel like wood tells a story, and I connect with things like that very, very deeply. Maybe it's because I've got such a story to tell, such a interesting life that I've lived. maybe I feel like I'm connected to wood in that kind of way. The struggle, feeling isolated and alone. That used to be my biggest fear as a kid, is that I'd live alone forever. Now I'm alone. And it's hard, but easy at the same time. Because if I really contemplate, if I really think about it, I'm being me as much as I can. And I still struggle to a certain degree with feeling imperfect and feeling like I'm doing it wrong. But it's my path now, right? And I'm the only one that is responsible for it. I don't have a wife anymore. I mean, I've got to take care of my kids, obviously, and they are my first priority, even though I fucking suck at it. But I'm doing it myself. Like this wood, right? This wood's been alone its whole life. I'm sure that it has a way to communicate with its neighbors, but its neighbor isn't going to have the same experience that this wood had. Again, just like siblings, living in the same exact house with the same parents, going to the same school with the same teachers. It's the same exact concept, right? This wood has its own experience. It did it all itself. And now it's just this fucking gorgeous piece. I don't even know what to call this. Like, it's just a piece. Maybe it's a piece of art, but how do you call something that was once living and is now no longer living? How do you call that art when really that's just life? Right? This isn't my art. I didn't come up with this. I just started carving on a piece of wood and went with the flow. So I don't consider this art. I consider this like a rebirth, you know? In the wild, this wood, it would eventually die, would eventually return back to the soil. Maybe its roots would stay for significantly longer, but ultimately it would disappear and reintegrate. So that, in a sense, is a rebirth, because it's being utilized in a different way, and there's a potential that the nutrients from the dead tree will grow a new tree. And it won't be the same, but it'll be similar, and it'll be a gift given by this wood. But this wood didn't die and just rot. I took it. I didn't take it, it was actually my dad. But he took it. And now it has a chance for second life. Gosh, this is... Actually, this might be perfect. Yeah, okay. It's soft enough. Good deal. Let's get dirty. So I'm giving this wood second life. I'm giving it a chance to show what it's worth. And not just as a piece of art, something that's to be admired and looked at from a distance. Although it doesn't have a ton of application, this is usable. Right? You can put anything you want into this bowl structure. But the way that the wood decided on the bottom, it has a very unstable base. Where if you put too much weight on one side or the other, it will be very easily unbalanced. So with this piece, if I use it, then I'd have to balance the weight at least opposite. So if I put something in here, I'd need to put something here. If I put something here, then I need to have something here. the wood wanted to balance like that. I did not choose that. And I'll show you here in a second what it looks like on the bottom, even though most of you probably already seen it, but we're going to seal the bottom too. So I feel like I'm just letting the wood speak. That's all I've ever really wanted. I just want everything to have a voice, a proper voice, be able to express itself. This wood, I definitely feel like it has expressed itself to me, and I'm grateful for that, because like I said, it tells a story. It tells the story of this wood. Hi baby boy, you want to come back up here? You come back up here? Yeah? Come here. No. You're scared, huh? Because I brought out the hair dryer. I'm sorry, baby boy. I'm sorry. My lap's open. If you want to jump up here, you go right ahead. Yeah. You just go right ahead. You come on up here. Same thing with like my cat, right? I adopted a cat, but is he my cat? No, he's his own living creature, and he's got his own story, and most of it I don't know, right? Like, I don't know where he lived before this. I don't know the conditions. I don't know how the interaction with his parents were, or if he even got to have interaction with his parents. Maybe his mom died immediately. I have no idea, right? But there's a story there, and I wish I could hear it. I wish you would tell me your story, Mr. Talon Rex, because I bet you it's a good one. I bet you it's a good one. Ugh, my wheels aren't wheeling. There we go. Okay, we've almost got this front side sealed, so Talon, soon I'm gonna have to turn on the blow dryer. Yeah. It's not wanting to go down in these cracks, is it? Let's give it a little incentive. I've really been struggling to find my place in the world, my people. I have some great friends from my occupational therapy program, and I love them, but we just live in different worlds, and I've never met anyone that, I don't know, thinks the way that I think, enjoys the world the way that I enjoy it. Everyone seems to like me, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel real. I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. I connect with people in certain cases, but ultimately, like, I think I'm meant to be alone. Like, my brain just isn't a be compatible with people kind of brain. My brain is look deep and discover and be uncomfortable. Most people hate being uncomfortable. Oh, don't blow away. No way. I don't know if you guys can see it, but as the wax melts, the blow dryer is kind of blowing it around, making a really nice silicone in a lot of different places. What I want to do is I want to get this hot enough that the wax inside the cracks becomes fully liquefied. Because I really want it to seep in wherever it can go. And I don't want to take away from the wood grain, the pattern. I don't want to steal these dead woods completely. Almost there, at least on this inside part. No, it's coming off of that one. Can't do it. Gotta use a different one. Damn. So now I've got to burnish it. And the wax needs to be pushed into the grain a little bit. Normally, with pieces like this that you're wanting to wax seal, you need to first really scuff the wood to open up the pores of the wood so that the wax can penetrate in. But I don't want to scuff up this wood because I've got it what I think is the perfect color. So instead of scuffing up the wood, we superheated the wax, and now we're burnishing the wax. So as I rub, I'm creating just a little bit of heat, and it's melting the wax. And because I'm applying heat and I'm pushing it down into the grain, it should do the same thing. It may not be as rough as what it would be if I took like a metal brush to it or something, but it's looking pretty good. And this is the other side, so you can see, I don't know if you can see, but on this side you have much more of a sheen with how it looks and how it feels. It's very smooth. Here it's very smooth, but it's dry, right? Like the wood doesn't really shine. That's where the beeswax is so fucking amazing. All right, let's see if we can melt some more. My little crock pot ain't doing the trick right now. I feel like this one's going to take forever to heat up now. Blowing wax all over the place. God, I love this little mini one though. Maybe if I cover it with the lid, that might help. Sealing all the cracks, make sure we've got a healthy dose of beautiful beeswax soaking through everything all the way up. Whew, this wax is hot, 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 hot. God, I love the grain pattern of the bark. It almost looks like wood in and of itself, the way that it's lapped over and all that stuff. Hi, beautiful. Oh, that actually did work, putting the lid on it. Okay. Don't know why I didn't think of it before, but, you know, better late than never. This one I did way different than the other side. Mainly because on the other side, I didn't want to put too much wax in and not be able to get it out of the cracks. I'm still a little bit nervous when I flip it over once it's dried that it might lighten up everything, which is the main thing I don't necessarily want. I don't want to make the cracks lighter and have this yellow waxy color in there. I really want to make sure that I capture the blackness and the deadness of the wood, because the piece isn't that piece without it. But yeah, I don't know, I love the symbolism behind this thing. I guess I just love symbolism, right? I love to be able to connect my world, my own universe that I create, right? Because we all create our own. I just want to tell stories, experience everything and everyone. I want to know what makes people happy, what makes people sad. I watched this documentary the other day about labor in Pakistan, and they basically have modern day slavery. There's a lot of places in the world that have modern day slavery, and that blew my mind. It's not even indentured servitude, right? Because indentured servitude is there's an end in sight. But for these people, many of them, they like had to borrow money for something serious, like let's say a hospital bill. And then these people can't read, these people can't write, and so they sign these contracts with these wealthy companies, these business owners that drum up these contracts, and then they don't know what they're signing, and they basically sign their life away, and they followed this family that's been at the same, it's a brick creating place. They, the whole family works there now. Hi baby, you want to come on my lap again? Yeah. Are you scared of the... You scared? You want to smell it? No, you're too scared. That's okay. The whole family worked there. Sons, daughters, mother, all of them.
New Hug Fit 360 waistband versus a soccer ball.
And they can't do anything about it. Right? Like, they're just stuck. And they don't know how to get out of it. And that to me is just horrifying. The people in another place in this world who are still human beings, they're judged so harshly, and like this wood, they're put through hell. And they're not happy about it, but they survive. And I complain about the most basic things. Right? Like, oh, my hot water heater's not working. Grr, I'm so pissed at my apartment complex maintenance team. And then you look at them and they live in a wooden hut that has literally no amenities, while the kids stay in a tent, like just a canvas tent next door. I mean, what the fuck, man? And I'm complaining about my shit. I don't have my kids living in a canvas tent, working in a slave factory. Like, but on this earth, there are people who live that life. How fucking sad. We as human beings treat each other that way. We think it's okay. We justify it with religion or spiritual or whatever. Like, it's all bullshit. It's all humans creating these scenarios that benefit the ones creating the scenario and screw everyone else over. But why? Like, why are humans so fucking competitive? Why do you have to be better than me? Why do I have to be better than you? Why does there have to be a better? Can we just fucking be human, all of us? I know that's an idealistic dream, but good God, to me it just seems straightforward. off. Oh, I did have some leak through. Okay. Nice. Hopefully I fully sealed it now. Yeah, see how we have that lovely shine on there now? Ooh. Still have some spots. Oh, fuck! No! Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's another thing, right? This is a good example. So I just barely broke this little tiny piece off. And I was really trying to save it, because if you can tell, it's just so thin, but that's the way that the bark grew. And if I wouldn't have, I mean, I could have just taken the bark off, right? But it wasn't the same. This came off on its own. But look at how it grew. Like, you would never notice that otherwise if you didn't leave that piece there. And anyone else could argue, oh, it's uglier with the bark like that. But again, tell the story, baby, and I fucking love it. Same thing with this little piece of bark. So thin, so fragile, but when I carved it, it just didn't want to come up, so I left it.
If your oil change.
Now I'm blowing cold air. I just want to dry the wax a little bit. So now I'm skin testing. If there's still a bunch of wax left, a bunch of oil left, then it'll leave my fingerprints, or it will leave streaks when I wipe it. So I'm just trying to clear out any last bit of wax that might be lingering. Oh, that's gorgeous. Little bead of wax made it into this lip. Some of you might wonder what this little tool is. And I got this at the thrift store. I didn't quite know, but it's a really flexible, very thin metal knife. I found out it's actually for candy making, which I thought was freaking awesome. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, it smells so good. Oh. Mmm. It smells so freaking good. Now there's a few places I'd like to, I wish you guys could see the grain. I don't know if you can, but like, there's a couple spots that I really, really like. Right here. Is that in focus? I can't quite tell. But the way that all around in here, that is gorgeous wood grain. Same thing with like right here. Look at the layers of the dead wood in here. Oh, I love it. And then we've got fantastic tiger striping. Same thing down here. Look at the edge there. Oh, so good. See, in this piece right here, if I was a normal woodworker, I probably would have shaved that down and got rid of it. But this is right where that dead wood starts to creep through. Why would I remove that? You know what I mean? Let's see. Everything on this side is absolutely beautiful to me, but my favorite spot, let's see if I can get it. My favorite spot's right through here. Oh, I don't know if that's in focus, but look at this spot right here is so interactive, right? Like it loops and curves up, it comes back around. And I also love the part up here where you can see the line that encircles the dead wood. It creates a beautiful wood grain right here. The whole thing's just fantastic. Again, more zebra striping down there. See, and this right here is the underneath of this spot that would be considered a blemish. But if I would have taken it down, well, it would have just gone all the way through. Like, I wouldn't have that. Oh, there, you guys can see the line right there. That's the new growth from the dead wood. Comes up around. See it make its loop right here. Come around down here. And then you can see the line right up there. And then continues on. Oh, I love it. What do you guys think? Thumbs up on this one? I hope so. Now I just need to bust out my light and try and take some like art quality photos of it. I need a black background. You know, like a piece of velvet or something so that I can like spin it and not have a distraction from the background, because right now wood on wood makes it a problem. God, that smells so fucking good. Alright. Let's do some mineral oil on the bark. have a feeling that this bark is just going to swallow up all of this mineral oil. Just soak it in like it's thirsty and hasn't had a drink in eternity, because it hasn't. This piece of wood was sitting underneath my parents' porch for who the fudge knows how long before I rescued it. Quite literally, if I wanted to take this, I don't think that it would have ever really even seen the light of day. Like, it would have just stayed under the freaking porch for forever. Oh, the hug. Be careful with the hug. We do not want to crack this part. I'm just gonna... Oh, scheisse, not that much, Justin, chill, chill. Oh man, I guess we're oiling the whole thing, good job. That's funny, I'm literally able to wring the oil out of this. Works to my advantage though, because then I can hopefully squeeze it down into these hard to reach crevices and cracks. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to pour directly into this spot. If I knew where my toothbrush was, that would be helpful. Oh, you guys probably can't see that, huh? I'm way back here. Yeah, okay. I mean, scoot forward, Justin. Scoot closer.
New Year's Super Sale at Furniture Row has been extended. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And for 60 months, no interest. Say goodbye to tired old designs. And hello to killer looks. But hurry, the extended New Year's Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Huggies double grip strips versus baby gear. Will it stay put? A toy piano? Yep. A rocking horse? Yep. An entire box of Huggies? Oh yeah. Only Huggies has double grip strips up to 100% leak-proof fit.
Little bubble of beeswax here. Will not allow mineral oil to seep in, so it won't show the actual color of the bark. Oh, almost dropped it. So much oil. Thick wax here and try and get that out. Chill, Justin, chill. Hi, baby boy. Oh, he's still scared. Yeah, there we go. Well, it's going to take a while for that mineral oil in these cracks to fully soak in. So, aside from the waiting game, I think it's done. Yeah, I think I just need to stop for now because this oil is going to continue to bleed out for a little while. So I'm just going to let it do that and let it bleed out. And then I'll come back and I'll polish her later. But I think other than that, she's good to go. Okay, Justin, stop fiddling with it. Leave it be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna call it a night with that. Talked a lot about some weird stuff tonight, you know, let my mind kind of just wander, but ultimately what it comes down to, as I said earlier, is this entire universe that's created is created off of interaction, chemical or physical, whatever it is. Planets are created and formed, and suns, stars, whatever it is. And then you zoom in on our little mud ball, which honestly, if you try to figure out how to find where our little planet is located in the Milky Way galaxy, God, it is. I invite you to go and check it out and see if you can find a visualization. But it's all reactions, and everything has some sort of reaction, even if it's no reaction, right? The combination of two things, if they're both inert, then they won't do much, but that in and of itself is a reaction. So with me doing this is a chemical reaction between me and you. Everyone who's watching this or has watched this has seen and felt a slight part of my universe. And I've talked to you and shared a little bit of my mind, so you also see my viewpoint and where it comes from. But ultimately, our interaction, for me at least, is my goal is just to
So I go to Lynn's, and for the lowest prices, I get the
let
best,
everyone
the
know
freshest
that they're
produce.
worth
I can't beat
something,
the value at Lynn's.
just like this
That's a UK
wood
leader.
that would have been considered worthless. You're all worth so much more than you give yourselves credit for. You sell yourself short for society's rules that they've created, but they don't exist. There's no such thing as time in the universe. There's no such thing as distance to the universe. There's no such thing as dimension to the universe. Those are all things that we've given names to and purpose to. We give meaning to it. So if we can give meaning to the world that we interpret, then you can give yourself as much meaning as you need or want. To me, without even knowing you, you mean more than this world, more than the galaxy, the universe. You are rarer than wood. And I said that wood is probably the rarest material in our galaxy, because from what we know, it only exists here on Earth. And guess what else only exists here on Earth that we know of? You and me. So just like this wood, choose your own meaning for yourself. Be who you are. Don't be who anyone else is telling you to be. You don't need to follow the rules. Fuck the rules. The rules were made by people who were insecure, who needed to have some sort of guidance. You don't need to be that way. You don't need to follow the mold. Even if part of you is dead, the deepest part of you, the core of you has died. You can still come back. You can heal yourself. You can become beautiful. Even though this right here, this dead is beautiful, but you can become live beautiful. So live. And know that I love you. And if no one else has told you today, than I have. I love you. You guys have a fantastic night. See ya. Oh, how do I end this thing? I'm gonna click up here.